the kids today are like, oh, crowd work this, crowd work that. I'd like to see you go head to head with Chad the magician at the El Conquistador Resort. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not like, he was so good. Like, and he was really funny. And he was kind of doing that kind of like, that little razzle dazzle kind of comedy. He was like, like that kind of like, ooh, you know what I'm talking about? You know what I mean?
No, but I like it when you do it.
Yeah. Text Me Back podcast again.
Oh no, Meagan doesn't like it.
She's back in business, baby. It's been 1 week since we did a previous podcast, and now it's new. Now it's new podcasts. It's how weeks work, folks. Now I'm very tired because I've returned from vacation.
Yeah, you were forced to travel.
They made me come back. They said, ma'am, put your butt away. Get off this island. Get out of here. That's what they said. And I said, what?
You're looking very, very tan.
I'm feeling very tan. Thank you for saying that. We had a wonderful time. We're going to talk about it in a second. And Lindy has a tiding as well as business news from the world of business. Because this is, deep down, this is a Wall Street Journal podcast. Do you know what I mean?
This is a Fortune 500 podcast.
Okay. Not literally. But
No.
spiritually. Spiritually, yes. Speaking of business, and then we can start the show. I feel like, and we can talk about this during my tidings as well, about my vacay. But you know what I don't understand is guy who goes on vacation and then like checks in with the New York office from the pool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of guys who are like, hang on, I gotta call Chicago or whatever. And I was like, you know what, Randall? I don't even think they know you're gone. Like, I don't think you need to call them. Like, you're in paradise, bro. What are you calling New York for? Checking in on the state of your stocks and your bonds. It's nonsense.
I think that's how you afford.
Interesting.
Yeah. Randall's working up to his own lazy river at home. You know what I
so
mean?
he never has to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Anyway, we're going to start the show now. We're going to start with tidings. Oh, I'm so tired. Oh, they made me travel for so many hours. Okay, but here, I'm going to play the song. Would you like to kick us off, Lindy?
Yeah, sure, Megs. I'm in a great mood today.
Wow.
Yeah. My tiding is that I'm in Austin, Texas, but yesterday I was in Denton, Texas, and the day before that I was still in Oklahoma City.
Ooh.
And then the day before that I went on a special field trip. Okay. So when my father was a little boy in 1948, he was 13 years old. For like 1 year, they lived in Ponca City, Oklahoma, because my grandfather was producing a radio show called Life in Ponca City. They lived there for 1 year, maybe two max. My dad loved it. He always talked about what a nice time he had in Ponca City. He said his best friend was a bullwhip champion.
I see.
Yeah. And he let his best friend whip a newspaper out of his mouth. He was like, yeah, I know. So I'm in Oklahoma for 2 weeks. I was like, I guess I should go up to Ponca City and see, part of my family history.
Yeah.
Because, Meagan, I don't know what the fuck's going on in Northeast Oklahoma.
You know what? Not even the good people of Northeast Oklahoma know what's going on. They don't know what goes on there.
I drove up there and it's like hour and a half from Oklahoma City.
Mm-hmm.
And I took scenic byways instead of the interstate. So I went through like beautiful farmlands. I mean, Oklahoma is so beautiful. And by the way, no offense to Texas, which also has much beauty. But when you cross the border from Oklahoma into Texas on the highway, yeah, it's all of a sudden the road is in shambles. There's just cones everywhere. Everyone's driving 100 miles an hour and swerving. I was like, and like everything is a strip mall. Oklahoma is so beautiful. It's very charming. I don't know why people are not talking about it more, but also don't go there. I want to tell Oklahoma City so bad, like, don't invite any companies here. Like on Sunday, the day of my last show, there was an NBA playoff game in Oklahoma City featuring the Oklahoma City Thunder. No offense.
Never heard of them.
There's an NBA playoff game, and it was also the anniversary of the Oklahoma City bombing.
Oh, yeah.
So they have like a huge like ceremony downtown. It's a big deal. There's not a car. There's not a traffic jam in sight. Honestly couldn't. I was driving to my show, empty freeway in Seattle. If there's like, can you imagine if there was an NBA playoff game? Like sometimes it'll be on the news. If there's more than one event happening in Seattle on the same night, they'll be like, don't leave your home.
Don't go anywhere.
Don't try to drive.
You know what always used to confuse me is like, even when the teams were bad, there was always a traffic jam. I'm like, I saw on TV, there were only 17 guys there.
Right.
And 11 of them were the players. So what is this traffic? I never understood it. I know
the fair weather fans aren't out there. Hello. So anyways, it so reminds me of the Seattle of our youth. And they are all really pushing for growth. I'm like, growth bad.
Don't growth.
Stagnation good.
How about stagnation?
Growth?
How about teeny tiny?
How about stay teeny tiny?
Mm-hmm.
You have a 24-hour donut shop. You have a Laotian restaurant. What else do you need? Don't
give Oklahoma City that special Pedialyte that helps kids grow. Don't drink it. Don't you drink it. Don't.
Anyway, so I go up to Ponca City. I'm driving through the beautiful farmlands, and I just really didn't know what to expect. I mean, I expected kind of like a standard like small town USA. I knew they had like a main street, or I assumed they had, and that's basically what it was. I get up there. There's some sort of huge power plant or factory or something just as you get into town. But then once you get past the belching smokestacks, then then indeed a charming main street. Wikipedia says that 24,000 people live there. I was like,
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Maybe they were all at the game.
That's right. They were all.
Yeah.
They were all waiting for standby tickets to every castle ranked.
Yeah.
So
yes, that's correct.
So I get there, and my dad is famously dead. And so I don't have any information about
no. Unfortunately, that was really funny. And honestly, may he rest in power.
I know.
What a king he was.
I know. So I didn't have any information about where did he live? And I never asked him any follow-up questions.
Well, because why would you? Why would you? When you're 11, be like, what was the street address?
Right. Someday I might be doing my one-woman show.
And I'm 90 minutes away, southwest of your town. I'm
going to want to pop up there.
So if you could put it down in your journal, that'd be great.
Yeah. And also when I was a kid, truly, and I hesitate to say this because it's unflattering, but I've been coming to terms with the way that in Seattle, I feel like you're taught to distrust and fear everyone who's not a coastal elite in a subtle way where I would never have admitted it before. But when I think I'm in Austin right now, and I remember my college roommate was from Austin and we would come here. And I remember being like, I met someone from Texas. You know, like, am I allowed to go to Texas? You know what I mean?
I forget if I've told this story before, but I remember when I was looking at law schools, we went and visited WashU in St. Louis, which is where I ended up going. And I wasn't sure what to expect. I definitely was a snob back then, for sure. Ended up like really liking the city a lot. But I remember when we first moved there, Seattle and the people of Seattle are charming in their own way. But, you know, Seattleites can be famously not very nice. And by the way, even people who just have lived there for 4 years become dicks. So I'm not really sure what that's about. Because like originally you're from like Boise. So why are you being rude? Anyway, so I remember I was walking my beloved dog, Hank. He was like a little 6-pound Chihuahua. Great guy. He was born across the street from the Broadway Urban Outfitters. Also dead, by the way. Hank died, and so did the Urban Outfitters. Yeah. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is I was walking my doggy and somebody goes, "Good morning." And I just remember being like, like what the fuck was that? What was that? And I thought, and I'm so primed to think that if someone is talking to you, it's because they're about to ask you for money or they want something from you, or like, you know, it's never going to be an encounter that you really want to have, probably. You know what I mean? Especially at like 9 a.m. on like a Wednesday. Like there's no reason why someone would talk to you. You know?
Certainly not.
So somebody said good morning to me and I was so freaked out by this. I was like, what? And it was just a nice person walking down the street just saying good morning. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Good
You
morning.
can do that?
Good morning to you as well. What the fuck was that? So it was a real game changer for my interpersonal skills. I'll believe it or not. I am actually a much nicer person having lived in the Midwest for a few years.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm certainly not a snob anymore, especially after the last few years of constantly driving around the middle of the country. And now I'm obsessed. There's nothing I want more than to move to Omaha or whatever. But the funny thing is that like Seattle is isolated. Like Seattle's like the most far away from everything. Major city on earth. It's just like,
and we just sort of like take for granted that it's a metropolis now. But imagine fucking covering your wagon and rolling up there with Cheetu talking about
Dennis Yesler.
Yeah, talking about and Ava Mercer, Catherine Blaine.
That's right.
Like there's something I only recently saw the sign. It made me laugh for 17 weeks straight. There's like just a picture of on Alki of the Denny party, and it's like, this is where they landed, and I was like, landed, LOL. And then it was like, and then they had to take a boat all the way, and it's like painted as this like incredible feat that the Denny party managed to get from Alki to where downtown Seattle is now. And I was like, it made me laugh so much because I was like, that's like 1 mile. It's not that far.
Where did they start?
Also, there are already guys there. I'm like, what do you mean? It made me laugh. I just like, look at these stupid bitches. But like at the time, there was no salties. They couldn't get their little fish and chips, you know. So I'm sure it seemed stressful at the time. You're just on some random beach surrounded by like the biggest tree the world's ever seen. Because you know they really don't have that on the East Coast. It really makes me, having left and moved out here. There's one of my favorite scenes in Twin Peaks is like the first episode. Agent Cooper is driving into Washington State. And he's just immediately like, the fuck is up with these trees? They're so big. And he like gets to the sheriff's station. He's like, what kind of trees you got growing out here? Like these wonderful trees. And it's so funny because, the trees here are bad. The trees on the East Coast are teeny tiny little babies. Nobody gave them the Pedialyte. Nobody gave them the Entwater.
Exactly.
So they stayed tiny. And so people get out to Seattle and they're like, holy shit.
Nobody did the Ogier tree singing. That's from Wheel of Time.
Hello.
Hello.
Anyway, so to your point, it's really remote. Imagine being in the Denny party being like, how the fuck are we going to get to downtown?
And I think even growing up there in the 90s and 80s, I still felt like everyone in the whole rest of the country was a little bit of an alien to me. Like I was like,
but also like the reverse. I feel like it was like notable when somebody mentioned Seattle on TV.
Yeah,
like
totally.
I feel like nobody knew where Seattle was or what it was until The Simpsons mentioned Ken Griffey Jr. in like 1993, but it didn't exist before then. And then forget about Frasier. Frasier was like really the beginning of the end, but it was always just like, I feel like the news would be like, you guys, you're never going to believe this. Our town was mentioned on The Simpsons.
Anyway, all I'm saying is I've really had an awakening that I was raised to be a snob and a coastal elite. Mm-hmm. Now, part of me also, God, I need to stop doing asides. But when I did this book tour and I drove down from Washington to California with Jesse and we went to the coastal redwoods in Northern California, I also, during that part of the trip, I was like, oh, the coastal elites are correct. Yes, California is the most beautiful state I've ever seen in my life. I mean, Oregon coast, no slouch. And it is so funny when Republicans try to be like, oh, California. Yeah, California fucking rocks. It rocks.
Yeah. Hello.
So I guess inside me are two wolves. One wolf is a coastal elite and the other wolf wants to live in Oklahoma City.
What everyone wants, I think, deep down is the scenery of the West Coast with the commute time of Oklahoma City.
That's right.
And unfortunately, it's not.
It's not happening.
And the cost of living of Oklahoma, but it's not. But it's never going to work because the reason that California is so expensive is because it rocks the hardest.
Fucking rocks, dude.
You know?
Okay, so anyway, I drive to Ponca City. I park on the main drag because I'm like, I don't know where I'm going. So I went to the cafe that I had parked right in front of. I walk in. It's not a record scratch exactly, but I felt a record scratch inside of me because I was like, oh, this is like a community space. Everyone here knows each other.
Yeah.
I don't think that on a random Sunday necessarily there's a lot of people with perfectly round glasses like the left-hand pet boy. So, there's like an open salad bar kind of a thing, like
bring those back.
I know.
God. What do you remember? They used to have them at Wendy's, and I think they had to get rid of them because of the cult in Oregon put a bioweapon in it.
Oops,
big mistake because they had some good stuff in there. Anyway, sorry.
So it was like that, and I was like, oh, should I not be in here? I don't know, because I am fundamentally from Seattle, so I'm shy. I don't like to ask questions. I don't like to have attention drawn to me. I just want to like always be, in the shadows. If there's a drizzly shadow,
ideal.
But I was like, Lindy, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're here in your papa's hometown. Not really, but So I went up to the counter. The lady was so nice. I was immediately at ease. Meagan, this restaurant had, and I didn't order this because I didn't want it, but they had chicken and waffles for $6, Meagan.
Stop.
$6.
How is that profitable?
But
come on.
I got the special.
Shouldn't it be $30?
Meagan, you can't get a freaking napkin in Seattle for $6.
That actually might be true.
I got the daily special, which was a Reuben, and it was so good. Like, I was like, well, it'll probably be fine. Like, I feel like all food has just become like Cisco slop at this point.
Yeah.
And it was definitely like corned beef out of a can, but like perfectly executed. It was so good.
Yum.
So I ate my little food, and then I was like, okay, guess I'll go home. Guess I'll go back to Oklahoma City. I have seen Ponca City. I don't know what else to do. Because again, I don't like to ask questions. So I was like, well, maybe I'll drive around and just look at the houses and then I'll go back. Okay. So I go back to the car and I'm driving around and it's like really cute. There's some fancy parts and then there's some working class parts. And it's just like a classic town. It has a famous mansion that like an industrialist built. And then I was like, okay, I guess I'm done. I tried to figure out like where was the radio station. Couldn't figure it out. I know. Then I'm like, Lindy Lauren Weast. You drove 2 hours, by the way, because of the scenic country roads you decided to take to get here. You're never going to be in Ponca City again. What are you doing? Oh, there was a visitor center, but it was closed. It's only open Monday through Friday, which feels like...
Sure.
Is that when the visitors are coming?
Okay.
I was like, Lindy, can you fucking grow up and try for 1 second to locate your father's ding dang house? and right across the street from the cafe where I ate, so I sat and stared at this for like, I don't know, half an hour, was a beautiful old library, the Ponca City Library. And I was like, why don't I go to the library and see if
the library was open on a Sunday?
Yeah, I was like, it's probably not open. I checked my phone. The library is open. So I drive back to the library because I had just been like driving the streets at random. I go back, I park at the library. I get out of the car, I start walking toward the library. Immediately a great sign. A dog comes out of the library.
Great.
Just a loose dog.
Success.
Just having the time.
Excuse you. That's the librarian. Stop being such a damn snob.
So I walk up the
That's the mayor. Lindy.
That's Jerry Ponca.
God.
I walk up the steps. This dog comes up to me. He's like, hey, what's up? I'm at the library. I'm petting this dog. He's so cute. He doesn't seem to have a person with him. Then a family comes out of the library. I said, oh, is this your dog? They go, no, but he just got kicked out of the library. This dog was asked to leave the library.
They said, get the fuck out.
They said, you need to pay your fines.
They said, Mr. Mayor, enough is enough. This is an abuse of power. Get out.
I was like, now this is the small town America that I've been looking for. This dog has been 86th, has been trespassed from the library. Maybe he
got kicked out of the library.
He was looking at porn on the library computer. No, I don't know. No, that's not what he was doing. That's not what he was doing. That's not what he was doing. Okay, I go outside. The librarian's like, don't let that dog in. I was like, I'm not. And then I was like, do you know whose dog that is? She was like, no, I don't know. I should probably go give him some water. So like, even though he was not allowed to hang out in the library, she did go take care of his well-being. I don't know what happened to him.
I'm sure he probably went back to City Hall.
He probably went back to City Hall. He had some paperwork.
Yeah.
He had some executive orders he needed to sign.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, okay, hello, excuse me. I don't really know exactly what I'm looking for, but my dad lived here in 1948. Do you have like town records? And they were like, well, actually, we have a whole genealogy department in the basement.
Ooh.
Yeah. And coincidentally, our genealogist is working today.
No kidding.
Yeah. So I go down to the
visitors center is closed.
Yeah.
But the genealogist is scheduled to work today.
Maybe the genealogist also runs the visitor center. So when
actually, that would make a lot of sense.
I go downstairs. There was like a young guy working there. And I was like, excuse me, I'm looking for the genealogist. He was like, oh, yeah, I'll go get her. I was like, okay. And then he went into a mysterious door.
The genealogist was the dog. Okay. Sorry.
Oh, no. Why'd they kick her out of her own
Why'd they
workplace?
kick her out? Anyway,
a person comes out from the back. And I said, hello, I'm trying to figure out where my dad lived in 1948. And I don't even know if she said anything. The vibe was like she just like sort of snapped her fingers and was like, all right, come on.
Yeah.
So I like trotted after her. It takes about 4 seconds. We walk into the genealogy room. She grabs a book off the shelf, freaking tosses it to me. She goes, 1948 directory. And then she disappears.
Oh.
I opened this book almost to the exact page. I opened this book. It immediately is like, here's your grandpa and here's their address. And I was like, that's crazy. This happens so fast.
Yeah.
I wanted to go talk to the genealogist and be like, can you help me figure out anything about the radio station? But she had melted away back into.
It's interesting because how frequently is someone coming to her town with a genealogy question?
Meagan, literally,
Ma'am?
I was like, could you be excited about this glimpse into history? Anyway, so then I went and looked at the microfiche for like half an hour.
I still don't know how to use those machines.
Well, let me tell you, neither does the multimedia guy. He was probably like, I don't know, mid-20s.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, I have to set it up for you. You're like, patrons aren't allowed to like use the machine. Not. And I was like, yes, that's great.
I don't want to use the machine.
Don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
But then it was funny that, so then he put the tape in the thing and like got me sort of set up. And then he was like, okay, so you control it with the arrow keys, and down is right and left is up or whatever. I was like, okay. And then immediately I like figured out how to use it better. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was like, oh no, actually what you do, because that does not work at all. Not to brag, but I was like,
kind of a microfiche head.
Kind of a former journalist, sort of. And as an intern, I did once use the microfiche machine.
Oh, look at her.
At the Seattle Public Library, Public Library. So anyway, Meagan, God, this is so long, but I haven't even gotten to the exciting part of the story. I know that's hard to believe.
Oh, I thought it was the dog.
The dog was a highlight, and I can't wait. I got a video of the dog, and it rocks. Yeah, okay. So I peruse the microfiche, but it's too much, like, because there's no search function. I don't really know what I'm looking for. And then the library was closing, so I had to go. And I had to get back down to Oklahoma City for my show. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, well, I guess I'll just go pop by the old family home, take some pictures, and then go. Mm-hmm. So I drive over to the house, and it's just like a cute little brick house. Now, there was one small mystery, which is that their address was like 134 and a half, and that didn't exist anymore. So I was just looking at 134.
Maybe it used to be split into two houses, and then whoever bought it melded it into one. Yeah.
There was like a second structure like behind it that now looked like kind of maybe a derelict 2-story garage thingy. I don't know. So I was like, maybe it was that. But anyway. Yeah. So Meagan, I'm sitting there. I'm taking some pictures. It's just like a beautiful, wide, leafy, tree-lined streets. It really looks like Americana, like a classic street where you want to raise your kids or whatever. Mm-hmm. Very nice. There's like a guy walking his dog, and then there's like a pregnant lady on her porch, and kind of idyllic. I took a cute picture of it, and then I was trying to see the building in the back, and I didn't even get out of the car. I pulled forward a little bit. I was trying to see the building in the back, trying to get like a little picture of it just to show my mom and be like, no, look at this. And then I backed up again to like get a better picture of the front house. And then wouldn't you know it, Meagan, a blonde woman comes striding up to my window.
Oh.
I've been there like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I roll down the window. And she goes, hi, can I ask why you're taking pictures?
The fuck do you care?
Ma'am.
Yeah, I'm evil. That's why I'm doing it.
I'm evil, and I need the pictures for my crime.
For my nefarious purpose, which is none of your beeswax.
I just was like, my dad lived here in 1948, and I went to the library and I did research because he died. So
my father is famously dead.
So I just wanted to see where he lived because he always spoke so fondly of Ponca City. My charm offensive does not work on this woman at all.
Oh no!
I mean, she's like. Okay. And she goes, because, all the neighbors noticed and were wondering what you were doing.
All
don't you, sorry, no offense.
Carol, all.
Aren't you supposed to be at church? Like what?
Where are they all?
It's Sunday. Okay, so then I tried again. I was like, oh yeah, no, sorry. I know that was so creepy of me. I just wanted to see where my dad lived so that I could show my mom who's in mourning.
She's still wearing all black.
And yeah, she's a widow.
She's in her widow's weeds to this
that's
day.
right. To this day.
The Dowager Countess of North Seattle.
Yes. And then I said, I was like, my name is Lindy, by the way. She said, I'm Karen. I said,
no.
Yeah.
No.
I know. I said, that's a little hack.
I've actually heard that one before.
And then I said, well, good neighborhood watching, Karen. And then I said, well.
And she doesn't even know that you got her ass.
No, she doesn't know.
That's fine.
No. And then I was like, I said, well, and I was like, oh, I'm so glad to run into you actually, because I was wondering, their address had a 134 and a half. Do you know if that house in the back, that building in the back used to be a separate residence? She goes, I don't know.
Oh.
And she was like, I live next door. Oh, that's not even your fucking house?
Oh, you're just being a freak for no reason?
She was like, clearly like the only one brave enough to confront Antifa.
No, I think that what happened was there are no other neighbors who cared about this. It was just her. And she came out there and told you something that wasn't true in a way, in an attempt to intimidate you away from her block that literally no one has ever driven down.
Well, this is my thing. It's like, what is the crime that I could do with a picture of your neighbor's house?
What do you think I'm getting up to? You think I'm going to like post it for sale on Zillow as like a prank?
Or like
talk about as is?
If I'm like casing the joint for my cat burglary career, surely I would come at night.
At night, Karen.
It's like Austin Powers. I'm like inching the car back and forth like this.
Actually being as conspicuous as possible.
As conspicuous as possible.
Yeah.
I've got my pet boy glasses.
When is the last time somebody committed a crime in this town?
Oh,
like
literally. Great
78
question.
years ago? Come on now.
So I was having such a great day. And I was so proud of myself for doing my research and doing my brave talking at the library. And fucking Karen.
Literally.
Anyway, she ruined it. But I got the pics.
What? Now I'm going to post a picture of your neighbor's house online. And nobody's going to do anything with that information because no one cares.
Also, hey, so sorry to break it to you, babe. Everyone's house already has a picture online. It's called Google Maps.
Street View. It's called Street View. And I've seen it. I've seen all the houses.
I looked at it before I drove over here. I already had one. So
that's a bummer.
Anyway, no, I mean, it was fine. Then I went and I did my now, okay. I like to call it Braum's.
But Allie says it's not, they don't say it like that.
No, producer Allie corrected me, although I had already asked. I asked my Oklahoma City rep associates. I said, now, I've been saying Braum's. I assume that's not what you really say.
There's no chance that was how they were saying it.
And they were very nice, and they were generous. They said, oh, well, I haven't heard people say it like that.
You could if you were like really stupid.
They just say Braum's. And then I was also corrected by producer Allie. So I did my Braum's redo and I got a candy bar mix-in, which is essentially a blizzard or a concrete, but they don't call it that. They call it candy bar mix-in or something. And it freaking rocked. And it was better than Dairy Queen. Not as good as Culver's if I had to. So.
Well, one day, if you're in St. Louis in the summer, you'll have to hit up Ted Drew's custard place that everybody really likes. I think it's pretty good. It's one of those things that people sometimes, like real St. Louis heads, are like, it's overrated. Bleh. But I think it's perfectly delicious, and they do the upside down thing, so you can see how they
Yeah. Oh, anyway. And last thing I'll say, I got another Braum's recommendation, which I got on my drive to Denton, which is called Orange Sherbet Freeze, which is like a milkshake, except instead of ice cream and milk, it's orange sherbet and Sprite.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Rocked.
Are you listening, Mormons? We got a new soda. Do you want to know
my tiding
about my trip to Puerto Rico?
more than anything?
Buddy, it rocked.
Yeah.
I had a great time. We stayed at a resort outside of San Juan. It was like maybe like an hour outside of San Juan. So we didn't get to do much San Juan stuff. We did spend one day in Old San Juan, and we went to the castle. We went to San Cristobal, the castle. But I feel like it's not really a castle.
It's not a castle.
It's a fort. But people were talking about Castillo. You know what I mean? And I was like, I don't know about that. No say, but pero. Okay. Anyway, so we walked around the fort, etc., etc. But yes,
I have a bone to pick.
Okay. I have not said anything.
Well, it's not really a bone. Don't worry. You texted me when you got to Puerto Rico. You said, "Guess who's here? Your cousin."
Yeah, that's true.
And then you said, "Oh, we're staying too far apart."
How
big is Puerto Rico?
He was staying in I think he said he was in Rincon. I don't remember where he was.
How far is that?
But he was like 3 hours away from me.
Oh, never mind.
And then we did sort of, and then we just missed each other in San Juan. And so I was like, well, we'll be in San Juan on, I forget if we went on Sunday or Monday. And I was like, so I was like, message me if you're around. And he and Stephanie, his partner, were seemingly having a wonderful time. And I was like, I'm sure you don't want to disrupt your vacation to hang out with your cousin's friend.
Okay,
but if you do,
first of all, I guarantee you he considers you family.
I love him. I love him so much. He's one of my all-time favorite people. His name is Raimundo, and he is truly one of the greatest gifts to this earth. He is an absolute delight. I love him.
One of my favorite things is when you've known someone for long enough that you get to use their old nickname.
I know.
Because now he prefers, obviously, as an adult, to be Ray.
Yeah.
But I get to call him.
We
get to call him Mundo. We're grandfathered into.
Although
the
he
Mundo.
I told you this at the last family reunion. He tried to be like, I don't know where you guys got that from. Nobody's ever called me Mundo. And I was like, there's no way that's true, because are you suggesting that Lindy and I made up that nickname out of nowhere? I don't think so, bud. But I did say, I was like, if you want me to call you Ray, I will call you that. He's like, and then he said, it's okay. And I was like, good, because I actually was not planning on honoring that promise at all. Anyway, so I didn't get to see Mundo or Stephanie, which is very sad. But anyway, so we get there, and last week I talked about this. I was not excited yet. I was stressed because the weather wasn't looking great on my app, and it did rain off and on the first day we were there, and we got caught in some showers the next couple of days, but it really wasn't bad. It was very tropical rain, just like you were saying. It just rains for a little bit and then it stops and it's fine. So anyway, we're staying at this resort. If you're looking for a vacation where you just lay down and you don't want to engage in a lot of walking or cultural activities, you could do worse than El Conquistador Resort 60 minutes outside of San Juan in Fajardo, because that's where we stayed. And I picked it because it's, as far as I can tell, the only resort in all of Puerto Rico that has El Rio Lazy. So that's why I picked it. So anyway, so the first full day we get there, and I was like, I'm absolutely champing at the damn bit to get down to the water park, but I'm like, be cool.
Yeah.
Don't overplay your hand. So we go to the regular pool for a while, and it's so nice. It's really warm. Water's beautiful. The weather's beautiful. There's literally palm trees swaying. There's this very sassy species of bird that was all over the resort talking about crack, 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 crack. I looked him up. His name is Grackle.
Grackle, they have those here.
Mm-hmm. He was a great little, they were all great little grackles, and they were having a nice time eating their little French fries and their chips and stuff. Then we got caught in a little rainstorm, so we go back to the room for a bit. By the way, I splurged for ocean view. And can I say something? I don't know if this was how this got ingrained in me, but I just have this sense on vacation sometimes that I'm trying to unlearn. that's like, I have to do as much shit as possible.
Yeah.
I have to overstuff everything that I do. We shouldn't spend any time in the room. And thus, it does not matter what type of room I get because we should never be in the room. We should always be looking at things and feasting our eyes upon something that we can have a memory about later. This time I got an ocean view room. And can I say, if you can swing it, you should do that. And here is why. If you are a lazy fucking toad, such as myself, you can lay
Reina Lazy.
La Reina Lazy, Queen of Lazy.
No, Rana means frog. I don't know what toad is. I only know that Rana means frog because in my high school Spanish class, a kid picked that for his Spanish name.
Oh, mine was Gordita. So that was
Josefina.
Oh,
but I just always thought frog was a funny thing to pick for your name.
Sweet. I like frog. Anyway, so
but you are also La Reina Lazy.
So if you're like super lazy like me, you can just lay in your bed playing your stupid game where you're merging French fries into bigger French fries. And every now and again you just look up and the ocean is right there. You can have both. You can be seeing things with your eyeballs.
Something to think about.
While also being on your phone. It was incredible. It was incredible. Anyway, so that afternoon, we finally go down to the water park. And by the way, and you're going to love this, you get to take a funicular to the water park. And you're a real funicular head.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
So we took our little funicular down to the water park. It's called El Coqui Water Park. And the logo is a frog. and for some reason, when they made the logo, they made sure to really delineate the frog's two butt cheeks.
Oh,
they really made sure that it was clear left cheek, right cheek.
This is the intersection of all my interests.
So I said, now that frog is double cheeked the fuck up. No, that's an ass.
On a Viernes afternoon?
Hola? Dios mio. You know what I'm saying? Hella ass. Anyway, so I'm like, this is the best thing that's ever happened to me. So we go in. I immediately am like, yes, it is time. I have applied my sunscreen. I'm plonking my ass in the lazy river. And that's what I did. I got in my tube and it was great. It was so great because, there's always the possibility that you build something up in your mind and it's not as good as you think or as you remember. Now, when it comes to lazy rivers, folk, los ríos lazy, it's just as good as I thought it was going to be, if not better. I floated for so long. I went around probably at least 8 times in a row initially. I would give this lazy river 9 out of 10. I'm only docking at a point because it had 3 very violent waterfalls that it sort of pushed you under. And so you'd have to get sort of violently sprayed by artificial waterfall.
That sounds like kind of the thing I like.
Kind of like the antithesis of lazy.
Yeah.
But I really didn't have any complaints. The other thing that was happening, though, is like, here, and I just would like to say this one thing, and I want to be clear that what I'm about to say is not a complaint. I understand it's just the reality of life. But the thing about a lazy river is that they all exist within the confines of a water park.
Yeah.
And a water park is for children.
Yeah.
Fundamentally, and at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? So there were a lot of kids. Mostly kids don't go in the lazy river because it's boring to them, right?
Yeah, that's what we like.
Which is exactly why I like it, So a lot of kids would like get on an inner tube, laze around once, be like, this is boring, and then just leave the inner tube in the river. So there's like a little traffic jam of empty tubes, and then they would all get stuck at the violent waterfalls because they couldn't move on their own through. So then I'd have to like push them myself. I was like, God, why am I doing lazy river maintenance? By the way, it was an honor. It was an honor. But anyway, this thing kept happening where the kids were like, oh, this is boring. We should spice up the lazy river somehow by being insane in it. And I was like, I don't think you understand. I have an existential need to be lazy. And you people are ruining it because you don't have that yet. You will acquire it one day, but this is why they have the water slides for those seeking excitement. Go over there.
Gordita está durmiendo.
Hello.
Okay.
Estoy durmiendo mucho en el río Lazy. Get out of here. Salir. Exit. You know what I mean? Anyway, so that was like the only downside, but it's also just like, that's just sort of a natural limitation of a lazy river is that children are going to be
other people's children.
Yeah.
I have a question.
It was great. It was so great.
Do you have to be in an inner tube to go in the lazy river?
No, many people weren't in them. And I will be honest, I found that bizarre.
So here's, as a person who gets sunburned in the dark,
yes,
the idea of being splayed out on an inner tube like an oyster in the half shell, being broiled by the sun, that doesn't sound that nice to me. What I'd rather do is just I am an inner tube. Soy inner tube. I'd love to just bob along with my natural buoyancy but get to be under the water.
Perfectly allowed. Perfectly allowed. Okay, yeah. Great. It was so great. I'm going to post a million pictures of it on my Instagram and on our show Instagram. But I truly have never been happier in my life. And, it was like, there's like a lot of lizards. So you could kind of just float around and see like a lizard. I don't know why. I just a big lizard fan. What exceptional vibes from the lizards, Yeah. So it exceeded expectations, and it's something that you love to see because you just never know. You never know if like something is really going to be as good as you think. And it was so fun. And the water slides were pretty fun too, actually.
I'm so proud of you.
There was a tube water slide and a regular body water slide. And then they had one of those really intense steep ones that I only did once because you feel like you're going to fall off of it. And then you get to the bottom and all of the water goes into every orifice of your body. And then I said, I believe I've just acquired hepatitis. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Anyway, so overall the trip was really fun. I had actually like planned an excursion for us. And then I was like, I'm canceling that. Why would I ever leave this resort? This is amazing. I'm having so much fun. Like I said, we did go to San Juan for a day and then we took a little ferry to, I forget the name of the town, but the Bacardi distillery is over there. We went to the Bacardi distillery and we did something called the Founders Experience. And they let you go inside one of the warehouses and see all their barrels and stuff. And as a result, they make you wear a safety vest. So Adam and I had to wear these like ridiculous safety vests. And here's what I saw at the Bacardi factory. A lot of rum, but I also saw a pack of wild dogs who just like live there. And one of them, and they were all so beautiful, like beautifully brindled dogs, like stripy dogs. One had like really light, like almost white fur with like black stripes to the point where I was like, is that a jaguar? Like, what is that thing? And then we were like cruising around in our little tour golf cart. By the way, I was the only woman on the Founders Experience tour. It was me, my husband Adam, and like 11 other guys who I don't know how else to say this, but they were golf presenting. Do you know what I mean? It was giving golf. Yeah. And I felt in danger for my life. Like, no offense to them.
They were polo Americans.
Yeah. Exactly. They were their spirits have special wind vents to keep them.
Yeah.
Their spirits are sweat wicking. Anyway, It doesn't matter. Anyway, and we had like a special tasting and I accidentally sort of drank. I accidentally drank. End of story. No, I swallowed the first sip of rum down the wrong pipe. So I was like, oh. And there's nothing I hate more than to do something embarrassing, but especially in front of a group of men. And then they were all like, wow, you're a real, they called me like what do they call that? Lightweight. They called me a lightweight as a joke. And I was like, don't ever speak to me again. Anyway, so then there's like 12 of them, right? They're like, and they asked one of their friends, oh, take a picture of us. And they all did Last Supper. They posed as the Last Supper. And the guy So anyway, so the guy taking the picture was like, oh, well, who's Judas? And then I said, I can't wait to find out. And then none of them laughed. And I said, come on now, that one was a good joke. Anyway, that was really fun. Even if you don't drink, it was really cool to see all the stuff and see how they make it. Doing a little tasting after was fun. A lot of people were treating Casa Bacardi like a club experience, which again, I don't say this as with any moral judgment whatsoever, but I do believe I saw more ass and boobs at Casa Bacardi than I saw at the swimming pool. Do you know what I mean? People were triple cheeked up.
The men? The 11 golf men?
Not those guys. But so when you first get there,
other people there?
Yeah. So when you first get there, there's like a little welcome tent thing, and they have like a bar, and you get a little token. You can get a mojito, and they make you can get other drinks. And there was like a DJ playing music.
See.
And I was like, I feel like I'm at a club of my youth. Like, this is really something. I would never have thought of that, but everyone was having a great time. It was really good vibes. Anyways, so I want to share one last thing that we experienced that really sent me on an emotional journey. And it is this. There were like little signs all over El Conquistador Resort being like, tonight and tomorrow, magic show. You got to make a reservation with the concierge if you want to go to the magic show. $75 per person. And I said, I would pay double that to go to a magic show at this resort, you know? So I was like, so I was telling my husband, I was like, okay, tomorrow we got to go down to the concierge and ask about the magic show so that we can get our seats. Cause I'm like, is this the kind of thing that is going to like sell out? Or I genuinely don't know, you know, or is it like everyone thinks that it's corny, so it's just going to be us at the magic show? Who knows? Anyway, so I go to the concierge and I'm like, hi, I would love to know more about the magic show and how can I make reservations for the magic show? And the guy at the desk goes, you are at the tour desk. I cannot help you. You have to go to a different desk and ask them about the magic show.
You have to knock 3 times.
Yes. Answer these questions.
Riddles 3.
Trace.
Preguntas tres.
And so I was like, okay. And I feel like my first volley about the magic show was pretty charming. Then I go up to a second lady. I'm like, hey, what's up? And I'm immediately losing my confidence. Every time I had to ask somebody about the magic show, I was shrinking and shrinking further into myself. You know what I mean?
Now, I have a little question.
Mm-hmm.
When you say I would have paid double, is that true? Because I feel like your heart, you knew on some level that you wanted to see the magic, but
yeah.
I feel like you weren't ready to admit it to yourself even then.
I was still working it up. But here's another thing about going on vacation. You just go, oh, room charge.
Oh, it's not real money.
Yeah. So then you're just like, none of this is real. And then they give you the bill at the end. You don't even have to look at it if you don't want to.
Never again in your life do you ever have to look at it.
It's not important to me. No. So I just was sort of like, whatever you want to charge me, I'll pay. I don't care. Because I'm never going to think about this again, you know?
What happened to all of Lindy West's money, you ask?
Room charge. Okay.
Room charge.
All right. It was several thousand magic shows. Do you understand? Anyway, so I go to the second lady. Literally, I had to proffer the preguntas tres. So I go to the second lady and I'm like, hola, buenas tardes. What's good with the magic show? The second lady was like, I don't know anything about that. You're going to have to ask this other lady who just left. And I was like, but she'll be right back. And I was like, oh my God, I just want to go to the magic show. So then the third...
Look, she crawled into this box.
And we sawed it in half.
And we can all see that the box is empty. So I don't know.
No, I don't know. Hang on. What's this behind your ear?
It's the lady.
And it's the third lady. And I was like, holy shit. Anyway, so so we waited for like 10 minutes. And then she finally came out. And I was like, hello. I'd love to go to the magic show. And at this point, I'm feeling very self-conscious, having now asked 3 other adults whether or not I can go to a magic show with my adult husband. And she was like, I don't know. My computer does not show me the reservation system for the magic show. So you'll just go down at 7 when it starts and see, and I'm sure it'll be fine. And I was like, okay. So we go down there, go in, and it was no problem. We get right into the magic show. I'm like, okay, great. Fantastic. And we sit down, and the opener magician is a guy named Billy, and he's probably like 70 something. And he's like, asking for somebody to be like, oh, name a celebrity. My husband, a famous mute out of nowhere, is like, oh, Whitney Houston. And he's like, okay, thanks. And I look over like, what the fuck is that?
That's more words than Adam's ever said to me in his life.
That's more words than he said to anyone in his life. I said, Whitney Houston? How do you even know who that is? Anyway, so so the trick was that he pulled out a picture of he's like, I have Whitney Houston's baby photo in an envelope. It was a good bit. He's like, and it was like a African-American infant. And he's like, last night somebody said Jay Leno. That didn't work out so well. And I laughed. Nobody else laughed at that. I laughed so hard. And then he's like,
sorry, the trick is that he has a picture of a black baby in an envelope.
Yes, but that's the joke.
That's
that
the
it's
joke.
a stupid trick. Yeah. But he goes, yeah, last night somebody said Jay Leno. And then he goes, but I would have been ready. And he flipped it around and there was a white baby on the other side of them. Anyway, it's a good joke. So we're just sitting there, and frickin' Billy is doing, some tricks. He had one where it was like, oh, there's a wooden egg in a bag, or is there? And he had a lady come up and she was like reaching around in the bag, no egg in the bag. I don't know how this man did it, but he was making that egg appear and disappear. There were coins flying everywhere, cards doing this, that, and the third. And I'm sitting there just thinking to myself, this rocks. I'm having a great time. I do not know how as far as I know, he went to Hogwarts. Okay. He learned the ancient magic of the egg and the cards from
Professor Flitwick.
Professor Flitwick said it's Leviosa. And he was like, oh, thank you for that. And it was like some of that really good, like sort of old timey comedy that I feel like we're losing.
Yeah.
Sorry to sound like a grandfather, but he had a really good joke. It's so dumb, but it made me laugh. Where he like pulled a guy up and he's like, oh, where are you from? And the guy goes, oh, Texas. And Billy goes, sorry. And the guy goes, Texas. And Billy goes, I know, I heard you. I'm just sorry. And I said, nailed it. Okay. So I was like laughing. He's doing all kinds of tricks. So he's like, okay, well, keep it going for the real magician, this guy, Chad. Chad put on a master class of the kids today are like, oh, crowd work this, crowd work that. I'd like to see you go head to head with Chad the magician at the El Conquistador Resort. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not like, he was so good. And he was really funny. And he was kind of doing that kind of like, that little razzle dazzle kind of comedy. He was like, like that kind of like, ooh, you know what I'm talking about? You know what I mean?
No, but I like it when you do it.
Yeah. And he was like, he was like guessing people's numbers, and he had a thing in the envelope that said which guy in the audience, that described the guy in the audience who would end up with the card. And I got to pick a card out of his hand, but I'm annoying. So I knew I shouldn't make eye contact or really try to jockey to get pulled up there because I'm obnoxious. We were talking about this with Todd Barry. You actually don't want Funnyman to be the crowd work target because it's annoying.
Although I would love to see you pulled up on stage with the magician.
Oh, it was great.
It would have been funny.
He was guessing people's dice numbers and whatever. And then there was one kid who was really desperate to get up there, and he saw that. His name was Connor, and he's wearing shorts with tacos all over them. And he was like, do you want to come up, bud? I can see how excited you are. And it was very genuine. It was very sweet. And he pulled the kid up and did this cool card trick where cards were magically appearing in the kid's hand. Like he's like, what? How did you end up with all these cards? The kid loved it. Just like it was like a, defining moment, like a defining memory for this child.
Aww.
And but it was also cute because you could tell that Chad hadn't planned on doing that trick, but he just like he keeps one in the chamber in case he wants to make a child's day. And I was like,
cute.
You made my day as well. This is so great. And he was like he was super funny and that kind of like, I guess sort of like, and I genuinely don't mean this as a diss, but in that sort of like Vegas-y lounge lizard type of way, it was really fun. Like it was really fun. Anyway, so then I was like, magic is amazing. Like maybe I want to start going to magic shows.
Or magic classes. It's never too late, Megan.
But there's just really something about like
the magician.
The magician. But there really is something about like, and they pull a coin out. Oh, like, how do you even do that? Megan, it's amazing.
It's incredible. I will watch magic for an unlimited amount of time.
I love
will be amazed. You know what's so funny is that thing where David Blaine goes and does the magic trick for Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford's house. Yes, it's my favorite. It's my favorite.
Best clip on the internet. But that reminds me. First of all, I do think that you should learn magic.
No, I mean, I feel like I really understand my limitations. There's no way I could do it. I just think that what they do is a real skill.
It's incredible. To have the dexterity,
fingy magic. Well, I famously have sausage fingies, and so I cannot do magic.
What are you talking about? Everyone always writes in to say how elegant and
they get sausagey when I get sweaty and hot.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I could never do a card trick. Anyway, we had such a great time. And then, and also Billy was there with his adult daughter. And she was like, if you see us around the resort, we're carrying a deck of cards with us everywhere we go. So we'll do a magic trick for you if we see you. And so I was on the freaking hunt. And then I did see them like our last day. But they were like, they're going up to everybody with kids to be like, there's another magic show tonight. And I thought maybe they would come up to me, but they didn't because I'm just a weird adult. You know what I mean? So, but then I was like, I want to go to again tonight.
You know what you need to carry with you, Megs? Propeller hat, big lollipop.
So people know that I'm a whimsy fan. I'm a real whimsy head and a child. Anyway, so here's what I think. Is magic corny? Yeah. Does it rock? Also, for sure. It is for people who like whimsy. And I just feel like we're living in a time where we're running a whimsy deficit.
Yeah.
And this really recharged my whimsy battery. I loved it, man. I was like,
nice.
Yeah. A lot of it it's actually kind of reminded me of like a drag show.
It's incredible to watch someone who has honed a craft.
Yeah, and from a place of genuineness, I think,
exactly.
It was very sweet. And I also, I was talking to Adam about it afterwards, and I was like, first of all, I want to invite the magician on the podcast. This guy is incredible. But also like, it's like AI proof to be a magician.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It felt like sort of like a little bit of a lost art where I was like, wow, I wonder if there are kids today growing up learning like sleight of hand and stuff. I hope so.
I think
it's
there
really
are.
Fun. It's so funny.
I feel like there are. There's always going to be that type of kid,
Yeah.
Who's like,
he had a good joke where he had like a little stuffed dog that sat on top of a vase, and he would make a joke that and he would like empty the vase every 5 minutes and like empty its contents, and he'd be like, oh, Gatsby had another accident. It got me good, girl. I was like, this is nice. Anyway, so if you are Billy or Chad or Billy's daughter, thank you, because that was really fun. We did not go to the second magic show because we had dinner reservations that I thought were going to end in time for us to go, but they didn't, and so we didn't get to see it twice. But it was really fun. If you go to a resort or like, because Chad was like, oh yeah, I just got back from doing Disney. It was such a showbiz way to be like, I was on a Disney cruise. I was like the entertainment on a Disney cruise. And I was like, God, he's like a bona fide celeb. I'm obsessed with this guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so if you're on a Disney cruise or you're at the El Conquistador, you're any place that has a magic show, you better get your ass to that thing. It was fun as hell.
If you're Chad, Come on the podcast. Billy, you're invited too.
It was great. So anyway, overall, the trip was sensational. The weather was beautiful. I had a great time. I continue to hate flying. I feel like it's an attack on my dignity. And that's what else is new, you know? But it was really great. And I had a wonderful time. And I would love to go back to Puerto Rico and actually learn something about Puerto Rico. I'm sorry. I spent the entire trip just being like insulated. Oh, just really quickly. And then we can end the show after talking about business and then ending the show. But I saw a lot of really good wildlife. This resort has its own private island, I guess. It's called Palomino Island, and they have a little boat that takes you out there, and you can be on the beach there. And the restaurant, you'll never guess who was at the restaurant with his family. Joel Kim Rooster was there.
Really?
Yeah, he had a wife.
Wow.
And like 8 chicks.
Wow.
Yeah, and
that's crazy. Friend of the show,
Joel Kim Rooster, I guess, was adopted by El Conquistador Resort. And he was like, walking all around with his whole family, and all of the tourists were like, "Oh my God, oh, they're so cute. Like the little babies are so cute." And the staff is like, her, like, who cares? Like, who gives a shit? Like, not. And I was like, it's my best friend. So we saw a family of chickens. We saw the wild dogs at the Casa Bacardi. And then, and I forgot to mention the best part. We're driving around in our little golf cart for the tour. And we come across an iguana who's just sort of sunbathing in the middle of the road. And the tour guide was like, "Oh yeah, there's lots of iguanas here. And they're usually like really big, whatever." So we drive off, and then all of a sudden the iguana raises up on like its legs and takes off at a full sprint across the road. And I was like, whoa, what spooked the iguana? It was the pack of wild dogs who chased it into a gutter and were like, like demonically, like waiting for it to come out. And it just got me thinking, like, oh man, that's like a city dog finds a bagel in a bush, has to check the bush every time to see if there's a bagel in it. Los perritos de Casa Bacardi are always checking the gutter to see if there's a iguana inside. So anyway, so we saw family chickens. We saw a bunch of like geckos. We saw that iguana. The dogs, and then on the island, what a hoot this was. I look over and there was like a little rock moving. I'm like, why is that rock moving? It was a damn hermit crab. It was great. And he said, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep. Off he went. It was such a pleasure. Have
you seen those videos where the hermit crab, where they like will give a hermit crab a bunch of shells to choose from when it's time for it to size up, and then it picks one? And they have like opinions.
I love it. It was so nice. It was really fun. So it was a great trip. Recommend Puerto Rico for all of your travel needs. And I was living La Vida Loca. You know what I'm saying? Anyway.
Well, we're gonna take a little break. And when we come back,
1 hour and 18 minutes into the show.
We're gonna end the show.
We're back.
Meagan, well,
pues.
listen. I know that we gotta go, but luckily this is the fastest business story, and I have to tell it to you. Okay. It'll just take 2 seconds. I think we can call this a BBW segment.
Okay.
Bubba business. Bubba business.
What happened in the business world?
Well, Meagan, a beloved Seattle institution has gone out of business. And it's a little dinner experience, fine dining / entertainment known as Teatro Zinzani.
Oh, no.
She has ended after,
she has 1,000 years.
30 years.
Teatro Zanzani rode that little boat over from Alki with Catherine Blaine.
That's right. And I just need to tell you the story. And the story of why they closed.
Mm-hmm.
And I take no pleasure in this because I love Teatro Zanzani.
You're a real Zanzani head. Yeah.
I went many times. I went as a teenager with my family. I brought my kids. Yeah.
I've never been. There's a few, I feel like this happens in our lives sometimes where there's something that is deeply ingrained in you that you've never actually seen or been to or gone to. And Teatro Zanzani is that for me, you know?
I've been a handful of times, always had a great time. You know, they feed you a dinner. I mean, speaking of like magic, it's very magic coded. There will sometimes be a magician and there's like acrobats and contortionists and stuff. And there's a little circus. I think they do a new show like every season. And there's like, it always has a little storyline. So they sort of abruptly closed and they were like, bye. And there's a story in The Stranger about what happened. And I think there were other things going on. It's really hard to, I think, keep an arts organization going.
Whether it's like a concert or, you know, live stuff is struggling.
Everyone's struggling,
etc.
Yes. So everyone's struggling. That's already there. But then there was a fatal mistake, allegedly, that happened in this last season.
Mm-hmm.
And the Stranger article is about a woman that works at Teatro Zanzani. And again, also, I want to say, like, I know lots of people that work at Teatro Zanzani because it's a very consistent employer for like Seattle musicians. Like you can be a musician in Seattle and work like full time basically for Teatro Zanzani. And like, that's, I think a really important employer in the community. And so I say this with no smugness, no joy. In the Stranger article, it says that a woman who worked at Teatro Zanzani, her husband is some sort of marketing professional. He works at an ad agency or something. And he had a concern about the show that they had planned for this, what came to be the final season of Teatro Zanzani. And he sent via his wife like a memo, a letter, a presentation or something like to the leadership saying, hey, this is pro bono, but as a marketing professional, I strongly suggest that you make some changes because I don't think that this show is going to sell. I think it's going to be a huge problem. And I really care about this organization. Then he like didn't hear back, I think, or maybe they were like, oh yeah, thanks, whatever. Then he says in this article, he's walking down the street. He sees a poster for the upcoming Teatro Zanzani season. He says, oh no, they didn't take my advice.
Oh no.
And they didn't change the name of the show.
Oh.
Now, the centerpiece of this show is a guy who does like ping pong tricks. Like he's like a ping pong wizard.
Yeah.
The show is called Mr. Pee-Pee's Clubhouse. And he sent them a letter. He said, I did an informal poll of people and he said 80% of people said that they associate Mr. Pee-Pee's Clubhouse with male genitalia,
with penis,
and they would not want to bring their kids
due to penis.
due to.
I assume they were going for a Pee-wee's Playhouse.
I think so,
but we don't use the honorific Mr. with Pee-wee.
Mr. Pee-Pee's Clubhouse.
Mr. Pee-Pee's Clubhouse sounds like Epstein Island.
It's not the right
to me.
Certainly not the right time in history. One might read The Room and say, maybe not Mr. Pee-Pee's Clubhouse right now. And he begged them. He said, please you can't call it Mr. Pee-Pee's Clubhouse. I really think you should change it. And then they didn't. His heart sank. And indeed, the ticket sales were very low. And then they couldn't pay people's salaries.
Alan Dershowitz bought all the tickets.
If only he had.
He asked for a refund once he realized it was about ping pong and not penises.
He said, Mr. Pee-Pee's Clubhouse, I already have that at home. We have Mr. Pee-Pee's Clubhouse at home. Anyway, I just needed you to know that Teatro Zanzani has fallen. And the reason allegedly is Mr. Pee-Pee's Clubhouse.
Rest in power. Rest in pee-pee hour. Teatro Zanzani.
I'm genuinely very sad. And
That is sad.
I don't want to make fun of it, but Mr. Pee-Pee's Clubhouse is so funny, unfortunately.
Why would you say Mr. Pee-Pee? Why would you do that?
At the best of times, are people wanting to take their grandma to Mr. Pee-Pee's Clubhouse?
It just doesn't sound right at all. That's sad. That's sad. Our apologies to the Seattle arts community. Hopefully they'll bounce back in some way or some fashion.
That's business news.
Thank you, business. Now the show's over. Pues. That's Spanish for well.
Pues.
I felt like I said it earlier and it didn't get the reaction I wanted, so I thought I would try again.
What?
But I said pues.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. It's okay. As a member of the annoying community, I thought I would give it another try.
No, I genuinely, I think it didn't register because it's really funny.
That's okay. It's fine. Oh, my cat has entered the room. Well, listen, that's Text Me Back podcast. We hope you enjoyed. If you want to support the show, patreon.com/textmebackpod is the way you do it. Check us out on YouTube. youtube.com/something. I don't remember what our YouTube is. You know what? Just search Google it up in the freaking search bar. You'll find it. What else is going on? Nothing. Oh, we would love more reviews.
Yeah.
We're running out of reviews. Last week, Allie put one from the Tony Burrito contingent that they left on our podcast page. So we'd love to drown those out. If you have the time and inclination, that could be great. Tell your friends about Text Me Back podcast. That could be nice. And in the meantime, keep rocking, baby.
Keep on rocking.
In the
clubhouse, Mr. Pee-Pee.
Pee-Pee style. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Bye. Why do I feel like there's a million other things I wanted to talk about?
I don't know. I feel like that too. I have 100 copies of adult braces to give away. I don't know how to do it.
If you're a logistics expert, let us know.
If you're an expert in internet contest, let me know, because an Angel fan bought 100 copies and they're to be given away, and I got to figure out the mechanism. Hello.
Help us out. Why don't you?
Thanks.
Okay. Hope you enjoyed the show. We'll see you next week.
We love you so much.
Bye. I want to go back to Puerto Rico. Text me back. Text me back. Text me back. Text me back.